everyone else plays along with the charade. They see drag queen story hours at libraries, cross-dressing child models on television, and many other forms of debauchery, all tolerated and even celebrated. They discover that pornography is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Children here in this Christian country start watching porn when they're 13 years old, and many of those same children have already been robbed of their innocence at school, where they are taught about masturbation and anal sex, and their nurses hand out contraceptives. As the heathens wander around confused, bewildered, they see a nondescript office building with the words Planned Parenthood written on the side. They walk through the door and down the hall and find a man in a lab coat extracting a child from a woman's birth canal one piece at a time. They soon learn that such a procedure is carried out hundreds of times a day in this Christian country. Over 60 million human babies have been dismembered and discarded legally, and with the enthusiastic approval or apathetic acceptance of a majority of the population. Even we don't kill babies, the heathens say to each other in disgust. They are perplexed. There are supposed to be 240 million Christians within America's borders. Where did they go? Did they float into space? Did they fall into the ocean and drown? It is like the mysterious disappearance of the settlers at Roanoke, except in this case, it is the church that has disappeared, and not from just one island, but from the entire continent. The would-be persecutors stop a pedestrian and inquire as to the whereabouts of these elusive Christian creatures. He points them down the road to something he describes as a church. Yes, the heathens think, finally, we shall descend upon them and crush them. But they are profoundly confused as they approach the alleged house of worship. From the outside, it looks like a post office or a medical clinic. There is not a cross or religious symbol in sight. The name on the sign says something like New Horizons or Cross Point. It seems less like a house of worship and more like a rehab center for wealthy drug abusers. The would-be oppressors wander inside and find a bunch of people sitting around in casual clothing, sipping Starbucks, listening to a mediocre rock band perform a pop song. Nobody is demonstrating anything approaching reverence. There is no sign that anything sacred is happening here or that anyone believes it is. Then out onto the stage strides a hip young man with perfect hair wearing skinny jeans and a deep V-neck. He launches into a series of self-help maxims and inspirational platitudes. The man, a pastor, he claims, speaks about God in vague and general terms, but not the Christian God. The God this man is telling his audience about seems to be a magical genie whose only function is to satisfy their appetites. There is no judgment in this God. He is a divinity who sits back passively waiting for his children to arrive into a paradise that they are all absolutely certain to enter, no matter how they live. The heathens standing in the back, now with venti lattes in hand, look with shock at one another. This is not Christianity. At least it is not a Christianity worth persecuting. They leave disappointed. After wandering around the neighborhood for a while, they come across another supposed church. This one has the appearance of a basketball stadium or a shopping mall or maybe a sci-fi villain's futuristic compound. And it is packed to the rafters with thousands of noisy spectators. The heathens walk through the doors, right by the coffee stand, past the gift shop, through the food court, and into a giant auditorium with a humongous stage, adorned not with crosses, but with a globe or possibly a picture of a tree. They see video cameras everywhere. They see fancy lighting and expensive audio-visual equipment. People in brightly colored t-shirts.